Welcome to SBR Forum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. We are continuing our off-season coverage of college football teams with Steve from collegefootballwinning.com. We have been doing individual team previews all off-season long, and today is July 23rd, so we're getting closer to kickoff. We're going to talk about Clemson right now. Steve from collegefootballwinning.com. Thanks for being back with us.
Thank you for having me back, Peter.
All right, before we talk about Clemson, tell us a little bit about collegefootballwinning.com, and you said you're going to have a coupon code now for SBR customers.
That is correct. CollegeFootballWinning.com, all we do, as the name suggests, is college football all year round. I believe we are the only year-round college football service that offers a 100% money-back guarantee on the entire season.
Wow.
So if you're not profitable, that's going over 52.38% against the spread with us, we give you all of your money back. We don't keep you don't have to worry about giving up service charges, anything like transaction fees. 100% of your money back that you paid to us if you don't have a profitable season. So coupon code for people watching the video, for people who frequent SBR, they just put in SBR20, coupon code SBR20. They will get 20% off of any membership.
Okay, nice. All right, so now we're going to talk about Clemson. And Clemson, last year was they were 11-2 straight up, 9-4 against the spread. So they're coming off a year where they were a good bet. In terms of the futures odds to win the BCS championship, right now at Pinnacle, their odds are plus 25-39, about 25-1, and that puts them tied with three other teams for 11th place. So according to Pinnacle right now, they're a top 15 team, not quite a top 10 team, though. 9-4 against the spread last year. What do you think? You think Clemson will be another good bet this year?
Looking at a season against the spread, we really look at three in general. We look at three categories when we're trying to predict how a team is going to do against the spread. First one is, are they going to have a variation in their straight-up wins from the prior season? Second one is, what is their preseason ranking? So what's their ranking coming into the season? And finally, did they have some sort of an extreme against the spread season, either very good or very bad the year prior? When it comes to Clemson, they had 11 straight-up wins in 2012. That's the second most in school history. Over the past 10 years, every time that Clemson has had the same or fewer straight-up wins compared to the prior season, they have been unprofitable against the spread for the season. So we're basically looking for Clemson to try to get at least 12 straight-up wins. That's going to be a tough road for them, given that they start the season playing Georgia. They still have to play Florida State, obviously, conference nemesis. They have to play Georgia Tech. Head coach Dabo Swinney is 2-4 straight up against Georgia Tech, and they finish the season with their arch rival, South Carolina. Those are four very losable games. When it comes to preseason AP, 60% of the time that they were ranked in the preseason AP poll, they were unprofitable on the season against the spread. They are definitely going to be ranked this year, quite possibly a top 10 team this year. 80% of the time that Clemson had a profitable against the spread season before, just like 2012, they were unprofitable the following season. So 2012 was their most profitable season as long as we have been tracking betting data, and that's a little more than 10 years now. So some betting trends, though. Clemson's Death Valley, reputed to be a very difficult place to play. Dabo Swinney is only 51.52% against the spread when he's playing at home. However, he is a very profitable 60.71% against the spread in away games. Under Dabo Swinney at home, when the public is betting on them or the public is with them 70% or more, they are 30.77% against the spread, 4-9, and they were 0-2 last year under those conditions. Swinney's Tigers, so under Dabo Swinney once again, when he is away and getting less than 50% of the public betting, he's 75% against the spread, 6-2. So when he is not a public favorite in away games, that's where you're looking to place a bet on them. He's just 2-7. That's 22.22% against the spread when they're favored by 21 points or more. So again, when they are 3 touchdown favorites or more, that's the time you want to fade Clemson. Now, looking to them for 2014, so if you're considering the 2014 BCS National Championship futures bet, we wrote an article on SBR earlier called the 60% rule, and we basically laid out 5 predictive criteria for determining the next BCS national champion. First one is, do they have an upperclassman quarterback? Did they have a top 20 scoring defense the year prior? Are they in the preseason, at least the AP preseason top 10? Do they belong to the SEC? And has their head coach been there for 2 to 4 years, which is that sweet spot for the BCS, 2 to 4 years? Well, for Clemson, they obviously have a senior quarterback in Taj Boyd. He's a tremendous quarterback. He's the only returning quarterback from 2012 who ran for over 500 yards and passed for over 3,800 yards. He has a very capable backup guy named Cole Stout. However, there was a challenger for that backup spot. It's the nephew of Jim Kelly, and he was lost in the spring game for the entire 2013 season. That leaves just one scholarship quarterback behind Cole Stout, and that guy's a former walk-on. So they're thin at quarterback outside of those first two spots. So what does that mean for them this year? In 2012, obviously Taj Boyd is a key to Clemson's offense, and Clemson's offense has been the engine that has been driving Clemson. So Taj Boyd in 2012, he ran for an average of more than 14 times in every game last year. And for his protection this year, given how thin they are behind him, we wonder if he is going to be coached to stay in the pocket more and run the ball less in 2013. And if that's the case, then you want to be especially wary of betting on Clemson when they are 3 touchdown favorites or more. Okay, the next predictive criterion, top 20 scoring defense the year prior. Their scoring defense in 2012 was ranked 46th. Now, they were 5th in the ACC, so that's not going to get the job done. As you know, there's a definite correlation between offensive time of possession and defensive success. Clemson gets off the field fast offensively. They score fast. So they were 92nd in time of possession, yet still 6th in scoring offense in 2012. That's tough on their defense. The last time Clemson had a top 10 scoring defense was 2007. That was also the last time that their offense was any better than 82nd in time of possession. If they have a defensive weakness in 2013, I would say it is definitely their secondary. Mm-hmm. They lack experience at every position in the defensive backfield, and this is a secondary that gave up big plays last year. At least Clemson had a secondary that gave up big plays last year. They were 110th in the FBS in preventing plays of 30 yards or more. If the 2013 spring game is any indication of things to come for these guys this next season, that defense allowed 7 touchdowns on plays of 30 yards or more, and that was a shortened game, and that was without Taj Boyd playing quarterback. The third criterion for the 60% rule, preseason top 10 ranking, we believe they're going to have it. The AP's not out yet, but the consensus on major publications is they're around number 8, so they're in the top 10. And finally, the fourth and fifth criteria, they're obviously not in the SEC, and Dabo Swinney enters his 6th season as a head coach, so they fail to meet those 2 criteria. In total, these guys meet just 2 out of the 5 predictive criteria, so they fail to meet at least 3, which is 60%. We think in sum, Clemson is going to have an unprofitable 2013 against the spread season, but you can look to bet them in away games and look to bet them against the public in those away games. Look to fade them when they're favored by 3 touchdowns or more, and we are not and would not place a 2014 BCS futures bet on Clemson.
All right, that was very thorough. It sounds great, Steve. Yeah, I know Clemson was 5-0 against the spread on the road last year, and yeah, when they're ranked in the top 10 preseason, but Pinnacle has their futures odds, closer to number 15. That also indicates to me that they might be a bit overvalued. All right, I'm going to be looking to bet against Clemson at home and as a big favorite throughout the year. Thanks so much, Steve.